Al, we are still knee deep in the filler. I mean, we get a little bit of a reprieve the next couple of weeks, but then after that, we're back into more filler, so it's not really that big of a reprieve. It's kind of like you're stepping into like a muddy puddle, and then you step out of it, and then immediately you step back into it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what that's what's happening this week here on Jared and Al Watch Inuyasha is episode 132. I'm Jared, joined as always by Doc Al and Ladium.
Hello.
We are discussing Season 5, Episode 20, or Episode 130, entitled Shippo's New Technique, The Heart Scar. Things are going to happen this week, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we kicked this episode off. There's some little fox demons hanging out, and they're just, like, chilling, and then Inuyasha destroys a demon, and then Shippo's just appears on, like, a branch or something, just chit-chat, and then they're like, oh, is that the great hero of legend? Oh, my.
Shippo's like gloating.
And then Shippo just runs away, and they're like, we gotta find him. We cut to this village where the gang's at for now. They're gonna exorcise a demon. It's the usual routine that we've seen like 10 plus times throughout this series already in filler episodes, where it's like we go to a village, there's a demon, we gotta take care of it, and that's basically it. Shippo has become infatuated with this young girl named Mizuki, where Kagome and Sango chit chat about how Shippo is able to like befriend young gals in all the villages they go to, and Sango's like, yeah, I bet that's got to do with someone we know very well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's the gist of this episode. Roku, Sango, and Kagome go off to find the demon, I think, is what they're doing.
Yeah, they're looking for it.
Yeah, Inuyasha and Shippo stay at the village, which Inuyasha's just there to just to nap because he doesn't really care. He's like, this demon seems small fry, I don't care. But I'll stay here just in case it shows up, whatever. But mostly I'm just going to nap.
Has nothing to do with Naraku, I don't care.
Yeah, and then Shippo's just there as well because he's Shippo.
Yeah.
Shippo goes out wandering, hangs out by the river and picks some flowers and makes this little heart flower thingy for Mizuki.
It's like a wreath.
Yeah, and then the 5 demons show up and they're like, you must teach us how your secret technique because you're the great hero, Master Shippo. You got to teach us. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. They're like, oh, but you are the leader of the band of, like, you got the priestess, you got the monk, you got the demon slayer, and you got the half demon. You're the leader, right? They're like, yeah, that's definitely it.
I love that he says that Inuyasha is a slave and he uses him as a footstool.
He that was his first mistake of buying into this.
Yep.
Oh boy. So this all becomes just a big comedy of errors for him, of course.
Of course.
He gives the little heart wreath to Mizuki and she's like, "Oh, I love it. Yay." He's like, "Oh, you should go back to the village, of course, to make sure you don't find any demons out here." She's like, "Okay, da 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 da." And the little foxes show up and like, you're gonna traumatize that child, aren't you? And he's like, no, not really. I don't want to. Like, well, no, you're definitely gonna do it. You gotta show us your cool techniques of enchantment and everything. And he's like,
we gotta show them raccoon demons.
That's not.
That wasn't the plan.
At one point, he rushes back to the village to get Inuyasha to teach him the wind scar. And he just takes the Tetsai and is like, wind scar, wind scar, wind scar. Just not doing anything because it's not even in like its actual form. And Inuyasha's like, oh yeah, I gotta do, when I do the wind scar, of course, I gotta do like, I gotta make these noises to myself, of course, that I definitely do all the time.
Ba ba ba, za za za,
ga ga ga, za ba za.
Like, no, he doesn't do that.
And when I do that, that's how the wind scar comes about. And Shippo's just like, this is incredibly stupid. You do not do this. Don't lie. And then Inuyasha like breaks part of the village, and he's like, oh, I should have just stayed asleep. I'm dumb. They eventually run into the demon that's running about, which is just a big lizard, and the little foxes gas up Shippo to this demon, and Shippo's like, oh, I am in trouble. So he basically does the Joestar family technique of running away after pelting it with mushrooms. And then the little foxes run away as well after they are just stuck there with them. And then they eventually run back into Shippo. And they're like, why did you run away? You're the legendary Shippo, aren't you? You're supposed to be able to take care of this. And Shippo's like, And then they spot Mizuki on the other side of the river, and they're like, "Oh, you should go take care of that child. You should go scare her." And he's like, I don't really wanna." But then he just basically gets peer pressure into doing it, and becomes a big balloon and is like, child, I will scare you. And then the other fox demons get up on top of him and they're like, we're gonna pelt you with nuts. and they're just jumping on him, and then she rolls into the river, and Shippo immediately transforms back. He's like, "Oh, are you okay?" She's like, "I hate you. Go away!" And
He's
he
like,
is
no, my love.
very sad. His first love again shattered. The lizard demon comes back and is like, "Oh, I found you, you little twerps. We're gonna have a fight now." And Shippo's just very upset about this. He's like, "I'm gonna fight you," and then immediately just gets beat up. And the other fox demons are like, "Uh-oh,
Ooh.
but this is enough for Shippo to learn his new big technique, of course, the heart scar,
Heart scar.
which is just him biting.
Nom, 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 nom.
It's funny because he's like, "I can see the aura, the demonic aura. I can see it." And then he just starts biting him. And then the other fox demons are like, "We can do this too. Heart scar." And they all start biting the lizard demon.
The little guys bite him in the junk.
It was, yeah, they really did.
They just went straight for it.
So yeah, the lizard demon's incapacitated for a tiny bit, and the fox demon's like, "Will you let us use that technique, Master Shippo?" And he's like, "Yeah, I guess." And like, "All right, we've learned what we need from you. We can go find our parents. See you later." And he's just like, "Oh, I'm so sad." The demon runs away and like goes through this little clearing and like goes out to the other side and is like, "That was annoying." Anyways, and then like right to his right is Kagome, Sango, and Moroku, and they just look at him like, "Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?" And then Moroku just takes out a sutra, is like, "Pop," and transforms the lizard demon into a little guy, and then starts speaking in tongues and is going, "Asa Tembele." And then that's it. They go back to the village. They're like, "Yeah, that was it. We got the demon. That's there." And then they're getting their food, and Mizuki has to deliver food to Shippo, and she gives him the tongue. Not like she
Not like that.
She just
Bleh.
like bleh at him, yeah. And Inuyasha's like, "What did you do to that young girl? Did you make her mad or something?" And Shippo's just like, heart scar, and starts biting him on the butt. Everyone's just like, "What is happening?" And Moroku's like, "This is just like a test from Buddha to see about our patience, of course." Yes.
Mm-hmm. Very insightful.
That's how we end this episode. Very filler, of course. We will definitely probably never see this attack again. Unless... No, it's definitely not.
I figured we wouldn't see it again.
We got one note here. The barrier around the Tetsaiga prevents full-fledged demons from touching it, yet Shippo was able to hold it in this episode. Though this can be explained because Tetsaiga's barrier only works on demons that have malice and hatred towards humans, Shippo has no hatred towards humans, which is why he can hold Tetsaiga. Which is also probably just, it's filler. They did not think about it, and they don't care.
Right.
That's the real answer, for sure. What we got next time will be episode 131. It's called Trap of the Cursed Wall Hanging. Sango's potentially going to learn if Moroku has feelings for her or not. Maybe. I don't know.
Who knows? That's what the preview indicates.
Yeah.
But
this is also canon stuff, so...
It is canon, so it actually might matter.
It could matter in the long run, so...
Maybe.
Yeah, we got 2 episodes of non-filler back-to-back here with 131, 132, and then we go back into filler for another good little bit, so... Get a bit of a reprieve next week and the week after. But that's going to do it for us this week. So if you'd like more from us, head on over to seasonalanimecheckup.com or sec.cool where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Seasonal Anime Checkup OVA. You can also find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from Anladium, go to anladium.com. She's got columns and reviews. You can follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Anime Checkup. You can follow us on Blue Sky at seasonalanimecheckup.com. You can buy our books, One Shiny Moment, a critical analysis of Love, Life, Sunshine, Hot Tubs, and Pac-Man on Amazon.com. And sports on Patreon, patreon.com/SACOVA. So join us next time as we see what's up with love drama, I guess. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
Feelings.
Feelings.